The more I look at the pictures of this figure of Holo over here, the more it looks like stir-fried cabbage to me. Hi and welcome back to the channel, I'm Steven. Today's anime figure news, we will be taking a look at figures that went on pre-order between the 6th of February to the 11th of February 2023. Today is also the eve of Wonder Festival Winter 2023. Tomorrow, Sunday, it will be a very busy day for me. I will be doing Wonder Festival coverage on my Facebook page, which is basically just me jacking content all across the internet and, gather them all in one single place for you guys to check it out, a compilation. And then we will talk about Wonder Festival highlights maybe a few days after that. I need time to filter things down and make a video out of it. Which is why today I'm publishing figure news fix about half a day earlier because, I don't want to compete with Wonder Festival when it comes to attention from other viewers and so on. So without further ado, let's jump into AmiAmi.com. This week is kind of a weird one in the sense that there are a lot of old figures that went on pre-order by one single figure company. So I have no idea what is actually going on. Why did they decide to do so when there are already so many new figures that kept getting delayed? So you guys had a lot of backlogs going on. You have a lot of figures you need to release on time. Why are you re-releasing the old stuff? 11th of February, Saturday, there are no new figure pre-orders, it seems. Which isn't too surprising given that we are on the eve of Wonder Festival, so perhaps all the companies are busy setting up. So we go to 10th of February, Friday. This is the one day where we had way too many figure pre-orders because of multiple re-releases by two companies. But anyways, I'll be skipping past this image update power figure over here. It is the same thing from weeks ago. So we jump straight to the first anime scale figure, Bishoujo scale figure. Oh, this is a dude over here. DX figure, Jujutsu Kaisen Yuji Itadori versus version, complete figure. Single shipment, Mega House, 37,400 yen. We go down to the bottom, and the dimensions of this figure, this is about 23 centimeters tall. This is a small figure. You see, 23 centimeters tall. Don't be fooled by all these details you're looking at on this figure. You need to remember the base itself, there's a significant height to it. You see, the height of the base is about 1/3 of the overall height of the figure. And then you have those effect parts going on. Yes, the figure is kind of, slouching, the pose over there. So this is no more than 1/8. I would say it is even 1/9 or even 1/10 scale. And for 37,000 yen, it is kind of outrageous. I know that they're asking a lot because of that diorama base over there. It looks amazing. A lot of details going on with the base, but I'm not sure if 37,000 yen is justifiable at all. We move on to the next figure from Princess Connect. We dive Makoto Summer version 1/7 scale by Wing Company, almost 26,000 yen. This is kind of expensive, but at the same time 25k. 25k to 30k is starting to become the norm for scale figures. It is very difficult for me to decide whether figures like this are considered to be reasonable or overpriced, because we have to shift our sense of norm nowadays. Like, this amount for a figure like this is supposed to be the new normal, and that is very hard for me to adjust. So it all boils down to the smaller details, like whether there are enough additional accessories for the figure, what is the base like, and whether the figure is a very complex one. I guess it goes down to all these smaller details. With that in regard, details and accessories, this feels expensive to me, right? Because we are looking at figure and base, nothing else. The colors are very attractive, I do admit that. And I wouldn't mind having a figure like this on my shelf. This is a very attractive looking figure. I love purple color. And the base isn't some random, round plastic disc. But at the same time, there really isn't much going on. No faceplate swaps or anything like that. Wing Company makes great figures though. They are also a subsidiary of Good Smile. So if you are interested in this figure anyway, I would say you can feel rest assured and go ahead and pre-order it. This is a skip for me, but very attractive figure. Yeah. The next figure over here, this is something I'd like to discuss with you guys also. From Arknights, we have a 1x7 scale Skadi, the Corrupting Heart Elite 2 version 1x7 scale by Myethos. Chinese company. This is a massive figure at 43,000 yen. 43k for this deluxe version is actually reasonable. There's a lighter version without this massive base over here. Yup, this one you get the figure only and a simpler base for 23,000 yen. But seriously, go for the deluxe version if you really can afford it, or really try to cough up that amount of money needed for this deluxe version, because I haven't seen anything like this among anime figures in a very long time, if ever. A base that is larger than the figure itself and detailed as hell. Man, this is a comparison to the Coca-Cola can or a Pepsi can. As you can see, this is a huge figure. I mean, when was the last time you saw a scale figure is being accompanied by a massive dragon or monster of some kind of back, which is larger than the main figure itself? I can't really remember. Maybe there are third-party garage kit, resin, pre-painted resin figures. There are third-party studios out there who have made something similar, a huge base, a base larger than the figure itself. But for licensed products, I believe this is the first time I'm seeing something like this. Please do correct me if I'm wrong though. Like, look at this, holy crap. So when I see this huge base and everything that's included in the figure, 43k is very reasonable. Well, we are talking about the Chinese company to begin with. If this was made by a Japanese company, this would cost like 50 plus or even 60,000 yen. And this is only the beginning of your nightmare, because shipping cost, well, if you live in America, in Canada, yeah, good luck with that. This is going to cost like 25,000 yen to ship. I don't know. Well, expensive hobby, right? So should you pre-order this if you have deep pockets and you love Arknights? Absolutely. From Uzaki-chan wants to hang out season 2, we have Suki Uzaki Sugoi Knitwear version by Kadokawa, 17,420 yen. I'm kind of surprised, pleasantly surprised that Kadokawa is pricing something under 20,000 yen for once, because they're a bit like Furio in the sense that they like to overprice their figures. Also, it is not very often you'll see the mom of the main character getting a figure made. Yeah. Not very often. So, should you go for this one? Perhaps it really depends on whether you are a fan of her mom, Uzaki-san's mom. This is a very simple... Oh, you are getting an additional faceplate. Alright. So 17,000 yen feels okay. I would say it is reasonable, but this is not a very detailed figure. Up next, from the Ascendance of a Bookworm, we have a 1x7 scale Rosamine. From Stronger at 31,000 yen, 1x7 scale lolly character. This isn't a large figure, but this is where things get a bit confusing. If we go down to the bottom, there is these dimensions over here, size approximately 29 centimeters, which is very tall, but the head height is only 19 centimeters. So going by what we are looking at in these product photos over here, up to the head, 19 centimeters, which is a very small figure for 31,000 yen. That feels really expensive. But when the specifications say that 29 centimeters overall, is she getting a unique and a large base? I have no idea at this point. Because if she comes with something more than just a plain round disc, then 31,000 yen might be justifiable. I mean, we are increasing the height of the overall figure by 10 centimeters over here. Be a giant rock base or something like that, which increases the size of the entire figure significantly, then 31,000 yen feels reasonable. But if this is all you get, 31k is really overpriced. Stronger as a company, well, they don't release many figures in a year, but their quality of work is really high. They make great figures. So if you are a fan of this anime or you like this character, I can actually recommend it despite the high price. We move on to the next figure. From Atelier Sophie 2, we have the Alchemist of the Mysterious Dreams Sophie Wedding Dress version 1x7 scale by Furio, 38,000 yen. Here we go again with Furio and the pricing. Personally, I won't buy wedding dress figures because, how do I put it? it is pure fan service in the sense that there are so many popular anime characters that come with a wedding dress version. And wedding dress really is just a lot of PVC material that is fully painted in white color. Meanwhile, I'm the kind of collector who likes details, who like, how do I put it, complexity. And wedding dresses are the exact opposite of that. So even if I were a fan of this character, and if there are any other versions of this character, I would likely to go for the other versions rather than a wedding dress version. But that is just me. That is my style of collecting anime figures. But regardless of whether I like wedding dresses or not, 38k for this thing is way too expensive. Yeah, so I'm skipping this one for sure. Next figure, we have a pop-up parade. Chainsaw Man Himeno complete figure. The one with the... Okay, I'm not going to give you guys spoilers for those of you who haven't watched it yet. Same story every time with my opinion on pop-up parade. Wait for after release, wait for user photos before buying one. Here we go, another pop-up parade, Kobeni, same thing, wait for after release, then maybe decide whether you go for it. Especially with figures like this where the mouth is open, there is a higher chance where Good Smile might screw up something with paintwork because it is so intricate. The teeth in the mouth region, it is like less than a millimeter in thickness, and then you have the tongue and so on. It is a bit hard to get the paintwork right with figures like this. Next figure, this one is one of the figures of the week. Mate Zoku Owari Monogatari, we have Shinobu Oshino 1/7 scale for 23,000 yen by Miyuki. I actually talked about Miyuki quite a bit in my previous Mega Hobby Expo video back then. I don't know much about Miyuki as a brand, but from the looks of it, they seem to be another Good Smile branch. It feels that way to me. I'm not very sure myself. But regardless of how much we know about this relatively unknown figure brand, you can't deny that this is an extremely attractive figure and I want it badly. Yeah. I'm not a fan of the Monogatari series. I've never been one. But I'm the type who buys stuff based on character design. This is very appealing to me. I want one. I really want her. I love my lollies, and for characters like this, wow, this is amazing. Yeah. 23k feels okay to me. What do you think? Will you pre-order this? Let me know down in the comments below. The next one, we have Heaven Burns Great, Ruka Kayamori 1/7 scale by 1/. Why is there only one single product picture? Come on, 1/. Why? What are you guys trying to hide from us? Let us see the entire figure from every single angle. 1/, never heard of them. Sounds like a very Junibyo name for a figure company. And when there aren't much details or official product photos, it feels a bit shady to me in some way. Normally, you want to be certain where the product is really ready and you have multiple sample photos for your customers to refer to before they make a decision whether to pre-order it. To put a product up for pre-order with only one picture, I'm not really sure. Next figure over here, Moen dress version illustration by Kishi Yasuri, 1/7 scale, 24,450 yen by Hobby Sakura. Hobby Sakura is a Chinese brand. It can be a bit confusing in the sense that there is another brand called Hobby Max that is Japanese. This Hobby Sakura is Chinese. And 24k is kind of pricey for something coming out of a Chinese brand, but 1/7, well, at least you're getting a traditional Chinese bench over there. I really like these props that comes with figures, you know. That bench, I like it a lot, but other than that, there has been too many similar figures nowadays, like, you know, Chinese dress, and then they are sitting on a Chinese themed furniture, a bench, a sofa, and then sometimes you have a pedestal and on the side. There are many figures like this nowadays. So how do I put it? It doesn't feel that special anymore when there are so many similar figures going on pre-order within a short period of time. I would love to photograph this figure from the perspective of a photographer, but other than that, solely for collection, to have the figure on my shelf, I'm not very sure if I'm attracted to this. Next figure over here, Mahou Shoujo Misane Space Suit version Star White 1/7 scale by Questq, 23,320 yen. Well, I'm very concerned whether the figure will lean over time. yeah, nowadays figure that lean, this kind of phenomenon, it happens very rarely nowadays. You only see that in bootlegs or maybe in price figures, not expensive scale figures. But I still have a concern when one single foot peg is plugged into the base and yeah, the weight distribution isn't there. It is one-sided heavy, you know. So you look at her legs over there, it's like slanted to the side. This is where I have a bit of concern. However, I have confidence in QuestQ. I reviewed a number of the figures. I love their quality, I love their work. So I think my concern might be unwarranted. Anyways, Raita's artwork, unrealistic body proportions. So this really isn't my kind of thing. I won't pre-order it. But there's no doubt that QuestQ, they make great figures. So it really depends on whether you like the character design with this one. Next figure over here, also by QuestQ. This one is exceptionally cheap for QuestQ figure. From that slime anime, we have Milim Nava, Bunny Girl style, exclusive extra color, 1/7 scale. So is this a second different color version? I don't remember if there is another version like black or white color. I can't remember. But going by the name exclusive extra color, maybe this is a repaint of an existing figure. 17,000 yen is very affordable, but at the same time, yeah, I don't see any shading work in the figure other than her hair, but that is to be expected. She is basically wearing a bikini. There isn't much you can expect. So I wouldn't say 17,000 yen is cheap. It's more like reasonable, yeah. This figure shouldn't cost more than 20k in the first place. It should stay below 20k. So if you are a fan of Milim Nava, maybe consider picking this one up. She doesn't cost too much. But at the same time, there are many other better figures of Milim Nava out there. Assuming they are not rare, of course. The next one over here, this is also an interesting one. By QuestQ, Toho Project, the expressive poker face Kokoro Hatano Light Arms Edition, 20,680 yen. The very same figure in a different color. She was being nominated by me as one of the best figures of the year last year for 2022. Now QuestQ is re-releasing it with a different color scheme. This isn't something I was expecting because I don't really remember QuestQ having the habit of re-releasing the same characters with different color schemes like many other X-rated figure brands do. So this turns out to be quite a surprise to me, to be honest. Which one do I prefer? The older version or the newer version? I prefer the older version, the one where she has a blue color shirt. But this one doesn't look too bad either. If I had to choose, yeah, the older version would be what I prefer. However, should you pre-order this figure if you missed out the first version? Yes, go for it if you are a fan of her. Up next, Spice and Wolf Holo Exclusive Extra Color Edition 1/7 scale for 18,480 yen. I think by now I'm quite certain this is a re-release. However, this color we are looking at, it looks like Holo is being wrapped in cabbage to me. I'm not sure what to think of this because to me the light green color for her dress looks like vegetable, looks like cabbage. So no, I don't think I like this at all. If I want a figure of Holo, I will be skipping this one. I'll be going for other versions out there. Next one, we have Maitetsu Pure Station Hachiroku Exclusive Extra Color. Another release, 21,780 yen. I'm going to speed this through because these are all re-releases. Hachiroku seems to be really popular. Alter also made a figure of her, and there are several other brands as well. I'm not very familiar with this franchise, this game, but yeah. Oh, X-rated figure. This is something new. I didn't know QuestQ makes cast-off herbal figures, so this is very interesting. Wait, hold up a second. Look at the release date over there. March 2023, isn't like that. Next month? Why is a figure going on pre-order today in February is releasing next month? Or is that just a typo? Should be March 2024. Is it coming out next month? Seriously? Maybe she has been in production for some time. Yeah. Another re-release from that slime anime, we have Shion Extra Color version 1/7 scale for only 16,000 yen, slightly over that. By QuestQ. If you missed the first release, please pre-order this one, please buy this one. Out of so many figures of Xion out there, this is one of the more memorable ones to me because she is really good. So if you missed the first one, yep, go for this one. I can't really remember what is the difference between this version and the older version in terms of the color. Maybe it is a pantsuit, the underwear that is a different color. But anyways, this is great value for money over here. The next one over here, Kadokawa Collection Lite, which is Kadokawa's very own version of Pop Operate, low cost scale figures. Emilia from ReZero, this one is normally 3,800 yen, which is the same as Pop Operate series, more or less. But on discount for early bird pre-orders, only 2,700 yen. This is borderline price figure pricing. Price figures, they are between 1,000 to 2,000 yen depending on which one you go for. So it is kind of interesting in the sense that more scale figure companies are going for the lower cost products. We had Full Wheel with the Tenitol series, but Tenitol figures, they are more like 5,000 plus yen, 5,000 to 6,000 yen each. And then we have Good Smile Company, which is ranging between 4,000 plus to 5,000 plus yen at the moment. So it will be interesting to have all three figure companies with each of their low cost products going up against each other head to head, compare them side by side and see which is better. I'm really interested in doing that, to be honest. So I really can't say much for now. I mean, to see Kadokawa doing something low cost, yeah, very surprising given that Kadokawa's stuff aren't exactly cheap either. Up next, this is a re-release. We have a RAM figure by Kadokawa. This is just under 10,000 yen, and from what I remembered, the price remained the same. Back then, it was also under 10,000 yen. So it is nice of Kadokawa to not increase the price, but at the same time, there are way too many RAM figures out there, and out of so many RAM figures, I don't know why they chose to re-release this version. This is not a very unique figure of RAM, to be honest. I've seen the figure in person, and the box is also very tiny, very small, so yeah. Really depends if you are a hardcore fan of her and you missed out on this one, then maybe you can pre-order one, but personally, I would say don't bother with this one. Don't bother with this re-release over here. Next one, another re-release, KD Call Konosuba Megumin Original Swimsuit version, 15,000 yen. Very nice of Kadokawa to not increase their prices by much, if at all, compared to their older pricing from many years ago. You know, the yen depreciated, right? Yeah, the weird part is they re-released Megumin but not the other two characters. Maybe perhaps Megumin is the most popular character among the three. Another Megumin figure re-release over here. This is the Sunflower One Piece dress version, 13,470 yen. Oh, this is already pre-order closed. This is a great figure to have for 13,000 yen. I'm not going to lie. It is on the simple side of things, but 13,000 yen, really? And figures like this, their box won't be big. Yeah, too bad she is already sold out, pre-order sold out in Ami, but maybe check out other websites if you are interested in her. I think I can recommend this one over here. Personally, I like it a lot, but because she is very photogenic over here. Next one, more re-releases. Saber Ultra Pendragon Lily Festival Portrait version, 14,000 yen, Kadokawa. March 2023, you see, the past few re-releases I've brought up so far, they are all releasing next month. So this might have something to do with Wonder Festival, I'm not sure. It's like they come up with a lot of stuff, they manufactured everything in advance and then they will just re-release it right after the event. I have no idea at all at this point. This figure is still widely available over in China. You go to China's website like Taobao, you go and search around their figures, anime figures. This thing isn't hard to find. So I'm quite surprised that she's being chosen for a re-release, but we are talking about Saber over here, right? People will buy it. So maybe there's no harm re-releasing it. More re-releases next. Yeah, we have Ilya Prisma Fantasy Mio Edelfelt Wedding Bikini version. 16,500 yen. You know, I never understood the concept of wedding bikini because who wears a bikini to a wedding? Right? Fan service stuff, that is for sure. Is Miu the only one getting re-released or is Ilya getting it as well? No, only Miu is getting re-released. Up next, from Date a Bullet, we have Kurumi over here. 1x7 scale, just under 20,000 yen. Also a re-release coming out next month, March 2023. But really, I would go for other versions of Kurumi, like Alta's version. Not because Kadokawa's version is that bad, but really, the face on this version of Kurumi, not evil looking enough to me. Yeah, I really like her when she looks evil. So no, this is not the type of Kurumi figure for me. Up next, from the Higurashi series, we have Rika Furude Angel Mode version and also Rena Ryogu Angel Mode version. 1x7 scale, this one is 17,600 yen. Rika is 16,500 yen. As you can see, Rika is already pre-order closed. And if you see over here, the sales period is up to 23rd of February only, and then she's coming out in March as well, like several others I just covered. So this is likely to be some kind of Wonder Festival special release. That is what I'm guessing over here, because I haven't been paying attention to the news. Nope, these two figures are skips to me. Not really a fan of these two figures. Not very detailed. If you look at their outfits over there, yeah, like plain grey color, not much shading. I would really appreciate more details. And the last re-release for the day, Suzumiya Haruhi by Kadokawa. 20,000 yen is a lot of money, but I can see why they would price such a simple school uniform figure 20,000 yen, because of how popular she is. A lot of old school fans out there, myself included, would really go for this figure over here. Of course, I'm not going to buy this thing for 20,000 yen. I've gotten over Suzumiya Haruhi. I have a Gekiso version by Max Factory, and I am very happy with that figure of Haruhi. That is it. I won't buy more Haruhi figures. 2 face plates at least, but neither of them are very unique in any way. And that is all for this one day, February 10th. We go down to the 9th of February, and hopefully things are back to normal. No more re-releases over here. The first figure of this day, FGO Berserker Minamoto no Raikou Travel Portrait version, a 1x7 scale by Max Factory for almost 29,000 yen, which feels really overpriced to me. Extremely overpriced. Yeah, and despite all of my complaints about the pricing, I can see myself buying one anyway. That is the problem, because there are not many figures of Raikou out there. There is one coming out soon, the one in bikini swimsuit or something like that. Yes, I will pick up that one. Will I pick up this one? I would say there is a high possibility, yes, I would pick up one as well. And it really depends on whether I'm able to find a deal, a good price on her, but I doubt it is going to be easy given how popular this character is in FGO franchise. The mummy of FGO of Type Moon. Up next, Freeing B-Style 1x4 scale Ichigo Bani version from Darling in the France. 33,000 yen is one of the lower end pricing points for Freeing B-Style figures, but I can understand why. If Freeing priced her any higher, no one's going to buy this figure, because she is one of the least liked characters in the anime. So pricing her too high wouldn't do things any good, right? This is one of the least attractive bunny figures out there as well, so yeah, this is definitely a skip for me. The next one over here from Senran Kagura, we have Shiki Limited Gold 1x5 scale by Kaitendo, almost 28,000 yen. 1x5 scale for 28k, that is great value over here, but Kaitendo is one of those B tier, B grade figure company where their figures, their products are kind of okay, but don't expect too much details or sophistication to it. The problem I have with this figure is very simple, anime physics. That is some extra powerful push-up brush she's wearing over there. Like, who? Yeah, this is... her bust is so unnatural over here, but if I remembered correctly, this anime Senran Kagura, yeah, their character designs are like that. So I think they are just following the original character design or artwork over here. But I really can't overlook that unnatural looking pair of watermelons on the chest. Looks really weird to me. So no, this figure is a skip for me. The next one over here, Dragon Girl Monly 1x7 scale by a company, DCTER, Dictor, how to pronounce that? But anyways, 18,230 yen for a 1x7 scale. That is great value. Especially when you look at the base over there. This is one of the better looking bases. Not all water effect bases are equal. Some look terrible, some are okay, but to me this is one of the better looking ones out there, together with Noelle Kurogane from last week, that Hololive figure. At first glance, I thought that she is topless, but not really the case. It is just her wearing something that is almost human skin color, which is a shame. I would have been convinced to pre-order her if she is topless. Anyways, no, I'm skipping this figure because I don't know anything about the character, and the character design, well, kind of nice, but the figure doesn't appeal to me as much in terms of my taste. The last figure on this day is a re-release by Kaitendo, Super Sonico by Sora Bikini version 1/6 scale for 18,000 yen is great value, but as I mentioned earlier, Kaitendo's figures are just okay, not the highest quality, not the most detailed ones out there. And I do remember this figure very well, even though she came out many years ago, so the moment I saw it, I already knew this is a re-release. This is not even close to the best Sonico figures out there, so personally I won't even bother, but if you are a fan of Sonico and you don't own this figure, maybe go for it because she doesn't cost a lot. One thing that I will never understand is why would you shove your hands underneath your bikini strap and getting stuck behind like this? Yeah, why would you do that? Anime logic. That is all for the 9th of February. We move on to the 8th of February. Over here, there are more figures on this day. Well, 3 of them. The first one, we have Cheer Girl dancing in her underwear because she forgot her spats. Illustration by Kaisen Chui, 1/6 scale. This is a 30,000 yen figure by no figure company again. There is no brand. Come on, tell us which figure company made this figure. No brands at all. Ah, there you go. The brand is right there in this page. The brand is Gentleman, which should be a Chinese brand. This one is only 23,000 yen because you're not getting those Ami exclusives. Really, I would just go for this 23,000 yen version instead of the 29,000 yen, paying 6,000 yen for bonus stuff. Not really my kind of, not really the way I would spend my money, but I do understand that some of you actually collect merchandises, right? Anyway, let's go move through the pictures quickly. Ah, I remember this one. I saw it in Facebook. And my personal opinion is a nope because those 10 lines over there on the thighs, I'm not a fan of that. At least in this figure, the 10 lines look kind of unnatural to me. It doesn't look natural. It looks like ice cream to me. You know, those 3 color ice creams, they are pink, vanilla, and chocolate. And this looks like ice cream between the vanilla and chocolate over there. That is what it looks like to me. No, I'm skipping this figure. Up next, from this anime called Gomi-san. I just mispronounced it as trash on purpose. We have a 1/7 scale Shouko Komi from Wave, 21,580 yen. At first glance, it feels expensive, but this is the best figure of Komi you can get out there. Let me explain. Right, so when I bring up this picture over here, as you can see, this is an extremely plain figure by all counts. Just a plain schoolgirl in uniform with a bit of shading on her outfit and her hair, and she is fetching for almost 22,000 yen. But the first thing is that you are getting an additional faceplate. This faceplate over here looks amazing. And you get this one over here. Now, a face expression like this one is not very common in scale figures. Nendoroids, yes, not scale figures. This alone makes this figure worth your attention, worth your pre-order. And the second thing is that sometimes for each anime character that is very popular, you get a lot of versions, and many of them are purely fan service, which doesn't exist in the anime. Bunny version, wedding version, bikini version, blah blah, Halloween version, and so on. You get my point over here. However, this figure of Komi over here represents her actual original character. How she is supposed to look like, how she appears in anime, in manga, and so on. And for that reason alone, combined with this faceplate over here, makes her the best Komi figure out there. Bunny version by Freeing? No, that's not it. This is the one to go for. Up next, from Azalane, we have Prince Eugen, Unfading Smile 1/8 scale by Wave. 15,740 yen is exceptionally cheap for a figure with many ship parts. But at the same time, this figure looks very unrefined to me. Like, you know, those floating ship parts have all these plastic rods sticking out supporting it. For some reason, when Outer did it, it looks a lot better. And this one looks very cheaply executed, very cheaply made somehow. But she cost half as much as the Outer version, so that is understandable. You are getting what you pay for. If you are unable to afford the Outer version, then maybe this is a viable alternative. Personally, I won't be bothered with this version of Prince Eugen because whenever I go for a figure of my favorite anime character, I would rather pay a bit more to go for a better version rather than a half-assed one. Oh god, I hope no one from Wave Company is watching me saying this when I call their figure of Prince Eugen half-assed, because by no means this is a bad figure, just that there is something better out there. That is all for figures on the 8th of February. We go down to the 7th of February. There are 3 scale figures over here, 2 very exciting ones in fact. The first one over here, Beastal Azalane, Slow Ahead Baltimore, 1x4 scale, 36,300 yen, for something that is not a bunny suit for once. I don't think it is a bad offer at all. This is a great price for a large figure of Baltimore in her school uniform outfit. Well, I already pre-ordered the one by Apex, the Race Queen version, so I won't go for this one. If I were to get more figures of her, I would go for the Alter one. For me, size isn't everything. I like details, and I would rather go for a slightly smaller figure with more details over a large one without much details on it. So yeah, this figure is a skip for me as well. Up next is a pair of lolly figures, one I regard as the best lolly figures of year 2023 so far. Ilyasville von Einsbund bikini version, and also Chloe or Kuro, 19,360 yen each by Kadokawa. They are from Fate Khalid Liner, Prisma Ilya. I want this pair of figures so badly, so much. Do you know why? Number 1, I love the Fate series. Number 2, I would really love to make those social justice warrior angry over in Twitter and Instagram just by posting all these hot saucy pictures of this pair of figures when I do get them. Oh boy, Amakuni used to make very similar figures of these two characters, and also Mio. They are extremely rare, extremely expensive nowadays. Yeah, I want those figures very badly as well. I couldn't afford them back then, still can't today. Do I want this pair of figure? Yes, I do. That is all for figures on 7th February. We go to that is all for the figures on 7th February. We go to the last day, 6th of February. There are only 2 scale figures. The first one over here from Draco Riot, Arina Olegovna Avin. 1x7 scale, Ami limited edition, 23,760 yen. The regular version, 22,000 yen. So perhaps you're getting an acrylic stand or something. Oh, the limited version, you are getting a smiling face part. So go for the limited edition. It is only an additional 1,000 yen anyway. I know nothing about Draco Riot. Yeah. And there are so many, maid figures and Nekomimi figures out there. So this is just another Nekomimi figure to me. Not very unique, not very appealing to me in any ways. So this is something I would skip. To those of you who know the character, who know the background, you might want to pick her up. But no. Oh, that is very interesting. She is actually cast-offable. More like you are getting extra parts. Yep, as you can see, you can partially undress her over here. So for 23,000 yen, this is actually fair price, to be honest. Yeah. Is she standing on a bag of donated blood? Is that a blood bag? It looks like a blood bag to me. Now that is a very interesting base indeed. But no, I'm skipping this figure. And lastly, we have this figure of Yazawa Niko from Plum for 18,700 yen. Many videos ago, I did mention that Plum loved their lolly figures. Here we go, another one. Out of all Love Live characters, they decided to go for Yazawa Niko over here. This is an okay looking figure for 18,700 yen, but really there are many other better Niko figures out there. For example, Alter's version, it came out many years ago, and nowadays Love Live isn't as popular as it used to be many years ago, except in Japan, of course. So perhaps look for the one by Alter or look for the one by Good Smile. In the pre-owned market, you might be able to find one for not too much money. Yeah, nowadays, Love Live figures, they are not really holding on their value much. They are not holding on their value very well. So instead of going for this one, maybe look for the better versions in the pre-owned market, and if you are lucky, you're going to find a bargain. This is what I personally think. Hold up and hold on a second, because there is one more figure I would like to share with you guys. This figure has already pre-order opened, but it is not available in Ami because it is an Aniplex exclusive. This figure of Nero Claudius over here, 1/7 scale, it is an Aniplex exclusive. She is going for 25,800 yen, fairly expensive. But this is one very attractive figure of Nero Claudius, and I'm sure you guys who like Nero, who like Umu Saber, will want to pick up this figure. So do not miss out on this one if you like her a lot. This looks amazing. I'm not sure if I should pre-order it right now, but yeah, I might pre-order on this Aniplex Japan store and maybe use a proxy service and get her shipped to my country. I love this figure a lot. This is like a photo frame display with a figure in front. Good Smile used to do the same with a Miku figure. And then there is also an Albedo figure, which a very similar setup. There's a frame around it. So this is one very attractive figure to have on the shelf. Very unique, something different. If you are a fan of Nero, pick up this one before it is too late. And that concludes Figure News Fix for 6th to 11th of February 2023. I hope you guys are ready and mentally prepared for tomorrow's Wonder Festival. We'll talk about it in a future video a few days later on. So good luck with your wallets and see you guys again very soon. Goodbye.